Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine, and it's divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading, followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you could join us here on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Now, before we dive in, I'd like to again remind us of the congratulations of passing the 500 episode marker. And as a celebration of that, I've opened up the Patreon community for free membership so that people can join our Zoom calls for free. There are a lot of people struggling out there. There's a lot going on. So I thought this could be a way to provide some help and, to give some thanks for all the support that I've received so far. You can also choose if you'd like to be a paid Patreon member, and that will help me to subsidize some of the costs and expenses that I have for this project. I'm still running this out of my own pocket, so it's about $2,000 to $5,000 a year that it costs me to produce this actually. So I'm not really making money from this. It's something that I'm doing for myself and hopefully to be able to help others. And so I'm coming from a genuine place here. The second thing that I'd like to remind you is that you can also find the Reparenting Daily Journal. You can purchase that on Amazon. It's another way to support the podcast. It's under $20. And it basically allows you to follow along with all of the monthly and weekly themes. It gives you space to keep your notes. And yeah, if you join the team or the Zoom calls, it might be a great way for us to all stay aligned and be working together. The last thing I'd like to give you a head up on is the Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily series. As I mentioned earlier, I've had some editing issues with that because in the springtime, the end of spring, I did some reworking to structure those into certain themes. So like the beginning, middle, and end of the hero's journey. And in the midst of reorganizing and restructuring the stories and also upgrading the artwork, some of the text is a bit mixed and jumbled all over the place. Sorry about that. When I was in the editing phase for the first time, they did not send the proofread copies to the Netherlands, and so I had to work, around and trying to find a way to get the copy to edit, and it's just been a mess. So basically, that's going to take a little bit longer. I'm going to aim to have that done by the end of the year, but I have burned my eyes, so I am very limited. Excuse me, with what I can do and time I spent on the computer. And so I would have had that done much earlier. I would have liked to have that already done, but here we are. And so in any case, once that's available, again, I'll give you a heads up, but please do hold off on purchasing the Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily for now. Or Fairy Tales for Reparenting series, not the Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily. That's it today. So without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is from the website Renaissance. It's an article entitled, What is Growth Mindset? Just as a reminder, we're in October, and the theme for this month is developing resilience and overcoming challenges. We are in week 2, the first day. It is October 8th until the 14th, and the theme for this week is shifting from a fixed to a growth mindset. What is growth mindset? A growth mindset is when students understand that their abilities can be developed. Dweck, 2014. Perhaps it is time to level set the mindset. Even though some confuse growth mindset with terms such as grit or effort, that is not the case. Effort is involved, but it isn't just about effort. Far more than effort, your mindset is about your access to support and your repertoire of strategies to help you solve problems. Effort is your means to an end, not the end. The end is that learning is improving. When nurturing growth mindsets, it's important to acknowledge effort, but praise improvement. Dweck, 2015. Do all students share a growth mindset? Yes. Carol Dweck, a lead researcher on the topic, states that as humans, we operate in both fixed and growth mindset. However, it is possible to operate in both a fixed and growth mindset. Here's an example. Most humans have a fixed mindset about jumping unaided off a cliff. No amount of belief in your ability to fly, no amount of hard work and practice, example, jumping off a stair, a table, etc., will prepare you to fly. Knowing that you cannot fly and that no amount of work will change your ability to fly is a normal, appropriate, life-saving fixed mindset. Dweck goes on to provide definition for both. A fixed mindset. In a fixed mindset, people believe their basic qualities like their intelligence or talent are simple fixed traits. They spend their time documenting their intelligence or talent instead of developing them. They also believe that talent alone creates success without effort. Dweck, 2015. The growth mindset. In a growth mindset, people believe that most of their basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Brains and talent are just the starting point. This view creates a love of learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment. Dweck, 2015. Whether a student holds a fixed or growth mindset significantly impacts their learning experience from elementary to high school. Students that hold a fixed mindset give up when they can't solve a problem and admit defeat. This can be detrimental to students' future efforts and leads to limited student growth. With the growth mindset, students continually work to improve their skills, leading to greater growth and ultimately success. The key is to get the student to tune into that growth mindset. Why does it matter anyway? How we interact and encourage students affects their attitudes towards learning. A positive mindset is the difference between a student giving up because they're not a math person and a productive struggle that yields growth. But a growth mindset isn't just about effort. Dweck writes, in the fixed mindset, everything is about the outcome. If you fail, or if you're not the best, it's all been wasted. The growth mindset allows people to value what they are doing regardless of the outcome. They're tackling problems, charting new courses, working on important issues. Maybe they haven't found the cure to cancer, but the search was deeply meaningful. Dweck, 2015. Thank you. And that's the reading for today. Welcome back. This reading reminds us that mindset determines whether challenges become growth or defeat. Carol Dweck defines fixed mindset as believing our abilities are static. You either have it or you don't. A growth mindset, on the other hand, sees abilities as flexible and improvable through effort, feedback, and strategy. The difference is not just working harder, but learning to work smarter, using support systems, trying new approaches, and viewing setbacks as information rather than proof of inadequacy. In this context of developing resilience, shifting from a fixed to a growth mindset is the foundation of emotional recovery. Resilience means believing change is possible. The pain, habits, and identity are not permanent. Trauma survivors often internalize a fixed mindset about themselves. I'll always be this way. I can't change what's broken in me. A growth mindset interrupts that narrative and replaces it with a grounded process. I can learn new ways of being. That belief is the seed of resilience. Again, I can learn new ways of being. Through reparenting, this shift is deeply personal. A fixed mindset is the voice of the inner critic, the parent who shamed, dismissed, or said you can't. A growth mindset is a loving parent who says you're learning. Mistakes are part of progress. Reparenting means choosing to nurture curiosity instead of judgment, encouragement instead of perfectionism. You're becoming the parent who teaches that effort and learning, not flawlessness, define your worth. As we go into the journal prompts today, number 1, when do I hear the fixed mindset voice in my life? I'll never change. I'm not good enough. Or I'm not good at relationships. How can I respond to it with curiosity instead of shame? Number 2, think of one area where I've improved through effort and persistence. What helped me grow, and how can I apply that same approach to current challenges in other areas? And number 3, what would my inner loving parent say to me when I make a mistake or fall short? How can I practice speaking to myself that way today? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.